We recently gained a new client because we were #1 in the organic search results they were looking for. Today, we'll cover 15 SEO tips so you can do the same.
This is Better Radio Websites, the podcast for radio professionals who want to see their website generate more traffic and revenue. Each week, your host, Jim Sherwood, and his special guests give you time-tested tips and secret tricks to ensure your radio station dominates digital in your market. Here we go.
Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thanks a lot for tuning in this week. Well, a month or so ago, I received what I consider to be a very exciting phone call. It was somebody who was inquiring about our services, but it's what they said in the conversation that made it exciting. It was a radio station who had gone out to the NAB show in Las Vegas, hoping to find a website provider to help them with their group of radio station websites, and he didn't find anybody. We didn't go to NAB show this past year, and apparently no other website vendor did either. And after not finding anyone to help him, he sat in on one of those sessions and sat in the back and Googled something about radio station websites. He couldn't remember exactly what he Googled, but he was quick to tell us that he never clicks on any of the paid search results, those results that appear at the top. We don't either, but he did tell us that we were the first ones in those organic search results that appear after the ads. And I was just so excited to hear this because it's exactly the kind of thing that I have been working toward. And he went on to say that he was excited to talk to us because we obviously knew something about SEOs, or search engine optimization, and that's what he needed help with as well. Imagine his surprise when I told him that we didn't do anything special. Well, you appeared first, so obviously you have some sort of SEO team or a service that you're working with focused on doing that, right? No. Not at all. I went on to explain to him that we simply do the right things consistently over time that don't cost anything, and the results kind of speak for themselves. So he was just fascinated that we didn't do anything special. We just did the right things consistently. So why is it important to be at or near the top in search results? Well, how many times have you clicked down to page 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 in the search results? So you pretty much may have already found what you wanted in the first page or two. Regardless of the content that your website is creating, being first in this list builds trust and credibility in your brand. It means more traffic for you too, and that equates to more money, especially if you display client banner ads on your website. If your website is more focused on getting more clients for your radio station, then it can mean more of those, which again is more money. So it all comes down to higher search results equals more money. Now you see the importance. So here are my top 15 SEO tricks to do to consistently keep your radio station or your market website at or near the top of search results. And this equals more money. All right. Number 1 is research your competitors. If your competitors rank higher than you in the keywords that you want to dominate inside your market there or inside your state or however you are positioning yourself, then find out what they are doing differently than you. If they're higher, find out why. Are they producing more content than you? Is their content better? Did they recently add a YouTube channel? Are they sharing their content out on social media more frequently than you are? Find out what they're doing differently. Then do that 10 times better. That's going to equal 10 times more results. We've seen radio stations who wanted to draw more listeners to their website with local news and local events nearly put the local newspaper out of business by doing just this. They saw what their competitor was doing and then did it much better. And then obviously having the radio station to promote that content, it was just really a matter of time before they put them out of business anyway. All right, number 2. Create high-quality, relevant content. Great content will always be king online. Relevant content will help you build trust, and it's sure to get more shares and more traffic. Now, you never want to write articles that are misleading or just clickbait in order to get people there, and then they don't really provide any value. If your radio station doesn't have a blog devoted specifically towards advertisers, you may want to consider starting one. Offer advertising tips like creating the best radio commercial, the importance of promotional events, case studies about successful advertising campaigns that your radio station has put on. Creating this kind of content on a consistent basis is the best way to attract new clients to your radio station because this information is free and it builds trust and it gives you more content out there. So when somebody goes to do a Google search for advertising opportunities in insert your town here, then your radio station website or your market website will be found. And then if you're the first one to be found, then you're the first one to the table with more information, and that's going to build trust for the folks that find you. I'll let you in on something that I do. You're either reading this on my website or listening to this on my podcast as a way of me building that trust. Give away free insight and produce great content on a consistent basis. It's going to give your existing customers and new ones a way to know you better. That's what I'm doing. That's what you're listening to right now, and I hope this does provide great value to you, whether you're a client or whether you're not a client. Number 3 is update your blog post and write new ones. Each week, this podcast serves multiple purposes. In addition to automatically appearing in your podcast platform of choice, it simultaneously also appears as a new blog post on our website. Now, it's important to ensure that your website content is updated on a consistent basis because search engines, they love new content. In return, they're going to reward you with a stronger organic presence, or you're going to be pushed to the top of the search results. Websites that are not updated regularly, they're consistently pushed lower in the search results by the ones that are being updated regularly. So if you have this great looking market website that tells all about your radio stations and it has your media kits on there and all of the great things that your radio stations can do for advertisers, but it hasn't been updated in 5 or 6 months, well, then it's really not going to be serving you a whole lot of value. Really, the only value that you're going to get is that you have the website on your brochures and on your business cards and that sort of thing. And that's really the only way people are actually finding it. They're not finding it in search results. Now, once you start updating your articles on a consistent basis, then that organic traffic is going to come. So when somebody does a search for advertising possibilities in this town or this location, your website is going to be found. That is basically free advertising for you, and all you need to do is keep it updated. So simple. All right, number 4, make your headlines irresistible. In addition to images, your headlines are the first things that visitors may see on your website. So make your headlines catching and more attractive than your competitors without getting too clickbaity. You don't want to do that. Irresistible headlines will increase your click-through rate and shares, which will ultimately increase your website traffic, which equals more money. Okay. Number 5, write for your visitors. Create content or posts that will benefit your visitors and provide value to them. Specifically for our radio station websites, ensure that your content creators keep your P1s in mind whenever they write something. Your content creators don't need to put so much focus on creating high-ranking articles because they may fail to deliver the content that really connects with that P1 audience, okay? You don't want to alienate them just so your post can possibly rank higher because then your P1s won't share it on their social media channels and that sort of thing. Number 6, do not copy and paste content. This is a really, really bad no-no. Not only are there trademark concerns, but if you copy and paste content from other websites, you'll likely get demoted in the search engine rankings for your entire website, not just the post that you're creating. All right, so that is very, very important to know that your whole website suffers rather than just the page that you're copying and pasting the content onto. Now, it's okay to borrow concepts and ideas and that sort of thing from other sources, but make sure that the content you're creating is your own and that it's unique. Number 7, ensure that your content is readable. Readability is a very important factor in SEO. Make sure that your content can be read by your visitors as well as those robots that scan your website. One great way to achieve this is by breaking down the content into short paragraphs and by using very simple language. Avoid using long run-on sentences and that sort of thing, because not only will visitors have a hard time reading it, and so will those robots. And if you're running any kind of SEO software that kind of examines your content, this will be one of those flags that gets raised. Number 8 is use keywords and key phrases effectively. When you know your audience, you'll have a good idea of what they might be searching for. For example, if you have a website dedicated to attracting new advertisers to your radio station, you might write for the key phrase radio advertising in your town. Well, ensure that this key phrase happens often throughout everything that you write for the website. Now, you want to be careful not to overstuff these keywords and key phrases into everything, because several years ago, keyword stuffing, it was used extensively, really, and to boost rankings. But now, high keyword density can make Google and other search engines actually blacklist your website. Yeah. So if you have any of these old blog posts or old pages on your website that has all of these keywords just stuffed into them, delete them immediately. All right. Number 9 is learn and follow on-page SEO. Now, on-page SEO refers to the measures related to content and HTML source code of the page, including on the meta tags of everything, keyword placement, keyword density, as I talked about, the content layout, and the user friendliness of your website. Think of the individual elements that make up every single page. They all have little attributes back in the code and the back end that you rarely see, but that sort of thing can really help or hurt your SEO efforts. Something as simple as using the wrong heading tag simply because the font is a little bit bigger or smaller than what you're looking for. Using those tags can actually hurt the ranking of that page. Some aspects of good on-page SEO strategy include using keywords in the title, URL, and meta description, the proper use of those H1, H2, and H3 tags, including image titles and alt attributes, every single image. Bonus points if you can include the keyword or key phrase within those image alt tags and title tags. But either way, you want to be sure that when every time that you upload an image to your website, that you populate these alt tags and title tags. Whether or not the keyword appears in the first paragraph or not, that can affect on-page SEO. Using link anchors, that's that clickable text that is actually the link. Using that text properly can affect your on-page SEO as well. And there are lots of other on-page SEO tricks that you can do. Just do a Google search for on-page SEO tricks or tactics or tips or whatever, and follow those. I mean, I've seen some pages, they have like 20 or 25 on-page SEO tips. So you can get really, really deep there, but all of that stuff is great to have. All right, number 10, use internal and external linking. Whenever possible, link to other pages within your website, within the pages and the articles that you and your team create. This is always a good practice because it can generate more on-site traffic for you. It can keep your visitors on your website longer. In addition, search engines follow these links and increase the rankings of your site overall because it sees the natural flow of things and the relation of things on your website. External linking or links off-site, they're also good for you because they show that your content has been researched and it relates to these other websites that may perform better than you. All right, number 11 is make your content shareable. Social connection is becoming a major ranking signal now, so ensure your website has social share buttons so that your visitors can easily share your content out. This will not only increase your rankings, but it will also improve your visitors' engagement rate. It will keep them on your site longer, and it will keep them returning more often. All right, number 12 is improve your page speed. That's right. Page speed is an important ranking factor for all search engines. Plug your domain into pagespeed.web.dev. That's Google's Page Insights tool, and I'll leave a link to it in the show notes. But you can see your website scores for desktop and mobile devices. You do want to shoot for the highest scores possible, up to 100. Large image files, they're the number one culprit to slower loading pages. So be especially mindful of those. And it will actually tell you within the report there what is actually slowing down your website. Number 13, work on your design. All you need really is a very simple and neat design with clear calls to action and great content to boost your overall user experience. Google, they love websites that have a very simple and responsive design because their studies have shown that people love these kinds of websites. Consider conducting a website usability test on your website, because if your website is cluttered, even with useful information, but your competitor's website isn't cluttered, well, perhaps those search engine results are showing that they prefer that cleaner design of your competitor's website over the cluttered information that's on your website. Even though the information there is great, having it less cluttered has shown to be a whole lot better in the user experience department. All right, number 14, examine your technical SEO. Occasionally, you may want to run technical checks on your website to ensure that there are no links that are broken, no images that are all of a sudden missing for some reason. You also want to scan for malware and other issues that might be affecting your site's SEO. SEMrush.com, it's a great resource to check for these types of issues, and they do have a free plan there as well. And last but not least, number 15 is cull dead content. You have old pages on your website that they're present, but they're not really generating any traffic. Well, it's time to get rid of them. Google does not want to rank websites that are bloated with thin or low quality content. We've talked about this in previous episodes. One e-commerce site saw a 31% boost in their search engine traffic, not to mention a 28% increase in their revenue when they pruned off 11,000 product pages that folks just didn't search for. They got no traffic at all. Proven.com, the website saw an organic search traffic increase of 88.3% just by deleting 40,000 dead pages from their website or old articles. Isn't that amazing? Organic search traffic increase of over 88%. Now, before you go and just delete everything on your website older than X number of days old, you may want to see if any of that old content can be repurposed, rewritten, and updated to be more modern. That will give you new content opportunities. So, wrapping up, those are my top 15 SEO things to do consistently to keep your radio station or your market website at or near the top of search results. Now, there's no need to go out and hire an SEO marketing firm or a major SEO service or anything like that. In fact, if you do, they're simply going to run down this list and teach you and your team how to do everything that we've mentioned here today. There's going to be a few more steps that they can go into a little bit more deeper dive into, but essentially it's going to be everything on this list right here. All right, so share this out to your team and enjoy saving all that money. And I will tell you that SEO is not an overnight game. It is a long game. So if you made every one of these changes today and you started implementing them tomorrow, then it's going to take probably months before you see the rewards of that. But it is something that you need to start doing and then keep doing it consistently, because those results, they will eventually come. And we'd love to help you out with your radio station website, or if you plan on doing a market website where you're specifically targeting advertisers, not just the everyday listener, well, we'd love to help you with that. Reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Better Radio Websites. Inspired by today's episode? Be sure you are subscribed and share this episode with a friend. Visit skyrocketradio.com/podcasts for more episodes as well as show notes for this episode. Need help starting or making your station website better? Visit skyrocketradio.com.